Within about 5 minutes, the belief will be into your subconscious. And you stand up, you walk away different. You have a bad behavior 50 years. You can change it in 10 minutes. Positive thinking is creative thinking. I'm thinking of a future. I'm creating a future of health. Conscious mind is creative. Subconscious mind is habit, just program. No creativity really, just habit. If I stay in my conscious mind, I can create my life the way I want it. That's called the honeymoon. That's what happens when we fall in love. We stop playing the program from subconscious. But for everyday life, only 5% of your life is coming from the conscious creative mind. 95% is from the program, from the math. You just do the math. How much of my life is coming from positive thinking? 5%, how much from the other? 95%, you can have positive thoughts. But they're not running your life, it's only a small piece. This is why there's trouble with positive thinking. People say, I tried positive thinking, it doesn't work. I go, yeah, but you're only thinking positive 5%. Of the time, that's not enough. Positive thinking, when it works. When you fall in love with somebody, your life could be blah 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 blah. Then you meet somebody. You fall in love 24 hours later. Life is heaven on earth. You have blah 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 and then 24 hours. What happened now? What's different? Science now knows when you fall in love like that. You stop playing the subconscious program. You stay, what is called, mindful. You keep your conscious mind present. And I say, well, if conscious mind's creative, and you keep it present, then that is how you created heaven on earth. And I say, when the honeymoon goes away later, why? Because at some point the program takes over. And then all of a sudden, these negative behaviors, you didn't play them when you first fall in love. 'Cause you stopped playing programs. You started being creative. And that's where honeymoon comes from, or health, or happiness, from being creative. But when you start thinking, then all of a sudden subconscious takes over, autopilot. And then creativity is ended. Positive thinking doesn't work anymore. The love doesn't work when that's negative coming from subconscious. So the idea is simply this. Positive thinking works if you stay mindful. But if you start thinking, that's when you let go of the control. And the subconscious is autopilot. And then you become whatever the program was. Negative programs, which most of us have, come from the subconscious. Honeymoon is not from subconscious. Honeymoon is from creative conscious mind. That's a very unique experience. When you stop playing the program, and you start creating from what you wish. In your desire, you manifest it. But when you start thinking, you are back into the habit, subconscious program. And that depends on where you grew up, and your family and your history. The programming that we get that controls our life is from the first 7 years. Because the brain is operating not at a higher vibration of consciousness, but at a lower vibration called theta. Theta is, for a child, imagination. But theta is hypnosis. So for the first 7 years, you get programs by not thinking or studying. You get programs just by watching like a video recorder. I record what my mother said. I record what my father, my family, my culture, I record that. That's a program. For first 7 years. And that's where we get the basic life program. Even the Jesuits said, give me a child for 7 years. I will show you the man. They already knew the first 7 years is the programming. And after that, 95% of your life is coming from that program. So we get automatic programming. Because the brain is designed for automatic programming. Now you want to change the program. First of all, you need to know, what is my program? Because I was being programmed even before I was born. I was being programmed in the womb. What program did you get when you were 0? What program did you get when you were 1? I said, well, you don't know your program. Because you were not here. The mind wasn't working yet. So I need to first say. So I want you to know what your program is. Simple. 95% of your life is coming from the program. Your life is printout of your program. You're expressing whatever the program is, point. Whatever you like, that comes into your life. Things that you like and they come to you. They come to you because have a program. To let them come to you. But those things that you want. But you have to work hard and struggle. Put a lot of effort in them. Gonna make it happen. Why are you working so hard? Because those things are not supported by your program. So the first thing, look at your life. Whatever you want, but you have to struggle. Is because the program doesn't support that. That's why you are struggling. So you know what you want to change. The ones that you struggle. Relationship, health, good job, whatever. If you have trouble getting there, it's the program. You have a right hemisphere and a left hemisphere. They have different functions. Like the left hemisphere is intellectual. The right hemisphere is more emotional. When you're under 7, both hemispheres work together in harmony. That's how a child can download anything so fast. Both hemispheres are in harmony. After age 7, the brain separates. Sometime during the day you're more intellectual. Later in the same day you're more emotional. It's like a wave. One side, the other side, right side, left side. That's very difficult to learn. But if you can put both sides back together again, then you have an opportunity, like a 7-year-old. Below 7, download real fast. One of the exercises called part of neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, okay, it's called Brain Gym. And this is an exercise. My right arm is controlled by my left hemisphere. My left arm, controlled by my right hemisphere. So this arm is controlled by this side. But when I cross the middle, it gets picked up by this side. So now both sides are watching this one. So if I cross both of my arms like this, and just sit here for a little bit, and cross your ankles, one leg over the other. So I'm crossing both. That gets both sides of the brain to start working together. And when they're in that together state, there's an opportunity now to put a new belief in. So as you're sitting in this state, there's a little more to it than this. But if I'm sitting in this state, and I have the belief statement, that's the most important part, what I want. I wait a minute and then I start to repeat the belief statement. I am lovable. Chuckles. It turns out, why? Because 80 to 90% of the people will not test positive for the belief, I love myself. Most people will not love themselves. Because we've been criticized as children too much. So I say, okay, I wanna love myself. So I go, okay, I love myself. And then you say it, and if you don't love yourself, they'll be like, what we call static. It won't be peaceful. And then you just sit there and say it again. I love myself. And then you wait and you say it again. Within about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the belief will be into your subconscious. And you stand up, you walk away different. And that's one of the ways of creating super learning. And thereabout. On my website, brucelipton.com, I have 25 or 30 different modalities of energy psychology. You could pick one that you like. But these are modern new technologies to help us change very quickly. Because we must change quickly. Because human behavior is causing the problems on the planet. We have to change our behavior. We have to get rid of the anger and the violence and the negative thinking. We have to become more positive and loving and open. And that means change our belief system. So 3 ways: self-hypnosis, earphones when you go to bed. Second, practice a new way every day, just practice. Let's say, you're not happy. And every day you look around. It's not happy, it's not happy. I go, okay, guess what? Every day just say, I am happy, to yourself. I am happy. I am happy. Just say it all day long. Because it learns from repetition, practice. The more I say I'm happy, the more the subconscious finally will get it. And one day, you'll wake up and guess what? You'll be happy without saying I am happy. Because it takes practice to put it in. And then energy psychology. That's the modern new technology to help us make change within minutes. And this is necessary for us now. Because human behavior is causing the problem on the planet, and we need to change behavior fast and now. Now you want to change it, I go, well, that's a problem. Because the conscious mind, which is the one connected to your spirituality, your creativity, that can learn in any different way. Read a book, watch a video, go to a lecture. Boom, you can download it. Subconscious mind's habit, I go, what's important? Habit only works if it stays the same. If it changes, then it's not a habit anymore. And some of our habits are really important. Like walking, when did you learn how to walk? Before you were 2. Are you still walking? Yeah, 'cause you got a habit. And you can be 100 years old. And you're still walking, habit. It doesn't change. So there's a problem. You want to change the habit mind. You have to do a different way of teaching the subconscious than teaching the conscious mind. So there are 2 natural ways that we learn subconscious. And one new one. The first one is this. How did we learn the first 7 years? The mind was what is called theta, hypnosis. We were like a video recorder. Everything we saw was just going in and down into the subconscious. Good things, bad things, it's all going in. So first 7 years, hypnosis. That's because the mind is in theta. So important point. Every night when you go to bed, the moment you fall asleep, The conscious mind shut off. The moment it shuts off, the brain is in theta for a period of time. So if you put earphones on with a program you want to be true, like a health program or a love program, whatever you want to be true, and you put them on as you go to bed, the moment the conscious mind goes to sleep, the brain is operating in the same way as a 7-year-old child. Whatever's coming in the ears is going straight into the subconscious. That's called self-hypnosis. You can put a program in as you go to bed. After age 7, you still learn programs. But now you're conscious, you have a higher vibration. So, well, how did you learn after age 7? Repetition, practice. You wanna learn something. Practice, you wanna play an instrument. You gotta practice the instrument. You wanna drive the car. You have to practice driving the car. Practice is repetition, just like exercise. You wanna change your life? You have to make a new practice. You have to live a different way. You have to say, I'm gonna do this. And you have to just keep doing it. The more you do it, the more you practice an instrument, the better you are at playing the instrument. The more you practice a new behavior, the more you practice it, the more that behavior becomes part of your system. So the second way is repetition. You want something different, then you have to behave differently. You have to practice every day. And there's now a third way. It's called energy psychology. I go, what is that? I say, it's a way of what we call super learning, that you can open up the subconscious and download new information in 10 minutes. You have a bad behavior 50 years. You can change it in 10 minutes using the new energy psychology. It's a way of engaging the subconscious mind to download, very quickly, something brand new. Just like a child, how do you do this? There's exercises, here's what. The difference is, very quickly,